Let's start with a comfortable seat, of course. Close your eyes. Taking a moment to become present. So notice if your mind is not on your yoga mat with you. And let's reel it in. Feel the breath. Hear the breath. Feel the ground beneath you. And to deepen that breath a little bit. In and out through the nose. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale the arms all the way up. Bring the palms together. Exhale them home to your heart in prayer pose, where we're going to pause to set an intention. And we're going to talk about intentions in a moment. But go ahead, give it a shot. Make sure it's positive. And then go ahead and interlace the fingers. Inhale here. Exhale, turn the palms towards me. Stretch your arms out in front of you. And then plug the shoulders back in because they probably went forward. So plug them in. We're waiting for that next inhale to slowly take the arms all the way up. And again, you might have to pause to plug the shoulders back in. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you stretch as high up as you can and you feel your shoulders lift to your ears and they can't go any farther, they're not plugged in. So pull them back down. Good job. Inhale. Exhale, lower the arms back in front of you. Inhale, open the arms wide. Heart moves forward, gaze lifts up. Exhale, arms all the way down. Fingertips to the earth beside you. Go ahead and drop the chin. Weight the shoulders down. And then take the chin over towards the right shoulder. I still have the head angled downward. And then I'm slowly going to bring the head back down and around to the left shoulder. And from here, I'm going to lift the head and my gaze up gently toward the ceiling, all the way around and back to the right shoulder. Nice job. Let the head come back down to center. Inhale, head comes back up. Let go of the breath. So we're going to take that left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you. Forgot I have a pile of props behind me. Remember that we're always lengthening on the inhale, so don't twist yet. Inhale, lengthen the spine, sit up really tall. Exhale, gentle twist to the right. Inhale, sit up a little taller. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Now hold the pose, keep breathing. All right, I'm going to keep my body in a twist, but I'm going to turn my head to look over that left shoulder. Now hold it here. You're still breathing, right? I want you to, if you have a lot of weight in the right hand, I want you to start getting some balance in the sit bones so that we can get the right hand off the ground. So I know you can't see my hand yet, but I'm turning the palm upward. And I'm going to bring that arm all the way up. I'm still hanging on to that right knee. And then whatever this looks like for you, I'm just gonna add a little side bend to the left. And if you want to, let's call this option A. Option B, you could torque a little bit more. Grab onto that right knee, use that as leverage, and start to pull the right shoulder back and angle the heart up towards the ceiling. If your body doesn't like that, don't do it. Go back to option A. Kind of play around, mix them up. All right, give me an inhale, come back up. Exhale, woo, release to center, close your eyes for a moment. I felt that twist completely let go. Deep inhale, hold the breath. Cleansing exhale. All right, right hand reaching for the left knee, left hand behind you, don't twist yet. Inhale, find your length. Exhale, gentle twist to the left. Inhale, sit up taller. Exhale, twist again, and hold it right here and breathe. All right, hold the body position. Simply turn the head to look over the right shoulder. I can feel I have a lot of leverage in my left hand, so I want to start shifting that into the sit bones so that I can gradually lift the left hand off the ground, turn the palm upward, bring that arm all the way up, and then side bend to the right. Just kind of dropping that right shoulder towards the right knee. Option A. Option B, use the left knee for leverage to pull that left shoulder back and rotate upwards. Whichever place you decide to be, the breath stays soft and sweet, right? Rasa in Sanskrit, that's sweetness. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, unravel, close your eyes. 3 deep breaths. And then another deep inhale. Cleansing exhale. All right, let's take both arms up. Exhale, scarecrow. Taking the arms into eagle, Garudasana. So let's take the right arm underneath the left. Cross them as tightly as you can. That first cross is important because that gives you the room to maybe get the arms to wrap around. Of course, that doesn't mean they're going to. So remember that your options are backs of the hands together or grabbing onto opposite shoulders. Either way, we're rounding out, right? So shoulders are going to round forward. Elbows are shoulder height. Breathe. All right, keep your arms however they are. Inhale, lift the elbows. So if you're grabbing onto the shoulders, elbows are going to lift like that. If they're in eagle, they're not going to go too far. And I'm slowly going to drop the elbows down toward my chest. Option to let the hands and forearms fall away from you if they will. Practicing ahimsa, so keeping the body safe. If it's okay with your body, what you could do, let me say this and do this first, is hinge forward, bringing the forearms down to the ground. Now, having said that, if you want to try it, but the ground is not cooperating because it's too far away, grab a prop, put it out in front of you first, and then let's try coming on down and landing on something. If you came down into this kind of a fold, let's untangle the arms first to gently push your way back up. Otherwise, that's a lot of pressure on the back if you're not using your abs to get you back up. All right, shake out the arms. Let's go, shake them out. All right, when you're ready, both arms up. Exhale, scarecrow. Garudasana, left arm underneath the right. Wrap it around. Round the shoulders, elbows are shoulder height. Continuing to breathe, making any adjustments you need to. And then lifting the elbows wherever they'll go. Releasing the elbows down towards the chest. Possibly letting the arms fall away from you. And then again, if you want to, sit up, hinge forward, and gently come forward onto the forearms, either on the ground or a prop. And if you came all the way down, untangle the arms to gently push your way back up and shake out the arms. All right. So let's go ahead and have a prop on either side of you. It could be a block on either side of you. If you don't have blocks, it could be like a pillow on one side, a blanket on the other, whatever makes you happy. But let's go ahead and have those nearby. We're going to lay all the way back. Anyway, I'm going to move. I've got a ton of props near me. Let's get those out of my way. All right. All the way back. Stretch out the legs. Find a mini shavasana here for a moment. So we did eagle arms, Garudasana, right? We're going to do the leg portion of eagle pose and take that into kind of a across the body twist. So one of your props on either side of you, if you're using blocks, you might want to start with them at their highest height and then kind of move them down as you need them, but totally up to you. It's going to be different for everybody. So let's go ahead and get the feet onto the mat, knees bent. I'm going to lift my hips so I can plant the low back down and get that little upward angle to the hips. Go ahead and lift the balls of the feet, spread the toes wide. So just the heels are on the floor. And then I'm very slowly going to roll both feet down. And then the toes gently gripping the mat. Push the balls of the feet into the earth, and on an inhale, without turning your head, lift the hips up into bridge. Give me a couple of deep breaths here. Fabulous. All right, slowly lower the hips, using control. If you've not done eagle with the legs before, remember with the arms, I said it's that first crossover that's really important. The tighter you make it, the easier it is for the arms to wrap. It's the same principle for the legs. So let's bring the right thigh in towards us and then cross the right thigh over the left. So if I cross kind of up toward the knees, this is going to be a lot harder to wrap around. So the tighter you can get that cross, the more room your legs have to play in this pose. So with the right thigh over the left, I'm now going to lift that left foot off the ground. And just like the arms wrapped around each other, you might be able to get the top of the right foot to come underneath the left ankle. It might go there, it might not. No judgment on the mat, right? So what happens if it doesn't? Well, you can pull the feet in towards each other as close as they'll go. That's a good option. Yeah. And then make sure that you have definitely the prop on the left ready to catch your legs, okay? And we're not dropping them down quite yet. I just want you to hold this for a moment. Couple deep breaths. All right, so I'm sure you feel the abs are kicking in. I don't want to take this twist to the left without some support because that's going to be a lot of work on the low back. So keep the legs twisted up, gently set the left foot back down. And now from here, we can drop the knees to the left. Hopefully your prop is over there to catch them. Now if you need then, once you're there, to bring the legs up a little closer, you can. And then let's just take the arms into scarecrow. Close your eyes and let go. So I had you, of course, as we do at the beginning of every class, I had you set your intention, which is sankalpa in Sanskrit. And I kind of wanted to talk about intentions versus goals versus resolutions. In fact, I kind of see goals and resolutions in the same, like they're on the same side, and then intentions are on the other side. And they might sound like they're the same thing, but let's kind of break apart why we might use one and not the other. So with a resolution, we think of perhaps the word resolve, which means there's an ending to something, right? Resolution means that I intend to get to the end of whatever the resolution is. So if I were to set a resolution to, oh, this would never, ever happen, never, ever, to run a race, I don't run, not happening. But if that were my resolution, I would expect the end result to be that I ran a race, right? Well, what happens if I don't run the race? I don't get to the end of the resolution, right? So there's a failure. I didn't do it, I failed. All right, I'll keep talking in a second, but I don't want to leave you in this twist forever because the legs are really pretzeled up here. So make sure that the left foot is still touching the ground so that you can just pull the knees up and then uncross that right leg. Straighten the legs out, reach the arms overhead, stretch it out. Keep holding the stretch. You might want to flex one foot while you're pointing the other, and then switch, switch, switch. Feel that in the calves. Switch. Last one. Relax. Bring the arms back down. Plant the feet on the earth, knees bent. Make sure you have a prop on the right side. All right, so we're pulling that left thigh in towards us. Left thigh crossing way over that right one. And then as I lift the right foot away from the earth, we can see if we can wrap the top of the left ankle underneath the other leg. All right, so we're going to just hold here for a moment and breathe. Keep drawing the abs and the low back down. Do not want a big arch in the low back. All right, gently, I gotta see which foot is which. They're all so tangled, I can't remember. Gently lower the right foot down to the ground. And then drop the knees all the way over to the right. Catch that left knee with a prop. Arms in scarecrow. Close your eyes. All right. I should have looked up this statistic. I read it so many years ago. Something like 90% of New Year's resolutions drop off by like March or something like that. Don't quote me on it, but it was something like that. And that instigates this sense of I didn't do it. I didn't accomplish it, right? And we're so good at negative words and judgment, self-judgment. So that possibly leads into, yeah, I'm not good enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not whatever enough, right? So then what's this deal about the word goals, and why am I putting it together with resolutions? It is good to have goals, right? Smart goals. Smart goals have very specific aspects to the goal itself. It is telling you exactly what the goal is. So like in what time frame, specifically, what are you trying to achieve? But the point of a goal is the same as the point of a resolution. You're trying to get to the end point, right? So if I say that my goal is to run a race, let's say to finish a race. My goal is to finish a race. I know that the end point is me crossing the finish line. Yeah? Okay. The goal doesn't say anything about the journey in between. It is only getting from point A to point B across the finish line. Okay, now hang on. I know you're stuck in this twist again, so I want to get you out before we keep going. So I want you to make sure that the right foot is on the ground. Start to lift the knees, untangle that left leg. Stretch both legs out on the earth. Arms overhead again. This time we'll flex both feet. Try not to lock the knees. And then point through both ankles. Keep pointing through the ankles, but now flex the toes. Inhale. Exhale, arms down, legs relaxed. It's kind of like this. If your goal in your yoga class is to get to Shavasana, that's primarily what you're thinking about, right? It's get on the mat, that's step one, and end up in Shavasana. So we don't think about the sequencing in between, the transitions, the breath work. I simply make it to Shavasana, I've achieved my goal. So here's the difference. This is why I like intentions. Intentions are about the journey in between. Intentions, if we get to kind of that end goal-ish kind of area, all good. If we don't, all good. But we are intending to take the steps to head in that direction. There's no failure with intentions. Yeah. And so that's why I like intention setting. And so when you take a yoga nidra class, the intention, the sankalpa that you set is very important. And if you're actually doing like a full yoga nidra class, you're probably going to say that intention to yourself 6, maybe 9 times because it's important. So pausing right now, I want you to think about the intention that you set at the beginning of this class. And do you want to stick with it? Do you want to doctor it up a little bit? Does it need to change? Go ahead and restate your intention to yourself. And then give me a slow, deep breath in. As you exhale, gently turn to a side in a fetal position. go ahead and begin to slowly push your way up. And then we're popping on over into table, hands and knees. So remember, I said if your goal, once you hit the mat, is to get to Shavasana, that's what you're thinking of. If your intention on the mat is to go through a yoga practice, you're probably very present. You probably can feel that mat beneath your fingers. You're focusing on the breath. You're feeling each transition. So let's focus on staying as present as you possibly can as you inhale into cow pose. Belly sinks, heart lifts, chin lifts. Exhale, round it out into cat, drop the head. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more. And then come on back to a neutral spine. Tuck the toes, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Walk it out. You want to create space between your shoulder blades by rolling the upper arms outward. Keep breathing. And then let's lift the heels up as high as they'll go. Keep pushing the hips up and back. And then as I step the right foot forward between my hands, I'll set my left heel back into a comfortable position. Not down, we're in a lunge, but you don't have to hold it up as high as it was. I just wanted you to gently feel the transition of one leg coming forward as the other foot relaxed. All right, now pull that back heel back up over the ball of the foot. Look down, make sure the right knee is over the right ankle. If it is not, grab your blocks or some big books or, I don't know, your pets to help you elevate yourself. I'm just kidding about the pets. Don't really do that. All right, give me a big breath here. Let it go. A couple more breaths. Heart's lifting. You can sink the hips a little lower. We're trying to keep that back knee a little bit loose. The back thigh is lifting. We're not locking the knee. Nice job. Let's go ahead and set the back knee down gently. Untuck the back foot. You can keep your props if you want to or set them aside. Lift the heart, lift the chin. All right, I'm going to set my blocks off to the side and bring my hands down. It's totally up to you. We're going to transition from our lunge into lizard. So I might angle myself here a little bit so you can see better. So right now, we've got one hand on either side of that front foot. The right hand and the right foot are going to change places. Just going to wiggle that foot on over. And again, this is going to look different for each of us. So if you need your props under the arms, keep using them. If you're coming down onto your hands, you can either keep the arms straight or you can keep this foot planted. Knee is aiming up at the ceiling. And you can come down to your forearms if you want. Or wait, there's more. You could go onto the outer edge of that front foot, open up the knee, and then come down onto your forearms. So it's up to you. Are you looking for a hip opener? Are you just looking for a good thigh stretch? Stay exactly where you want to be, okay? You're doing you on the mat, setting your intention that you're simply going to stay present to the sequence, to the poses, however they unfold safely for you. We don't want a goal or an expectation of what the pose is going to look like or what we should be doing in the pose. All right, give me a couple more breaths. All right, so wherever you're at, we're gonna slowly make our way back into our lunge, wiggle the foot over, and then pull that leg back in, and push back into embryo. So legs are together, sitting the hips back onto the heels, forehead to the earth, or, yes, I heard the correct answer, on a prop. And then arms are reaching behind you. All right, I'm sure the other leg is like, woohoo, my turn. So come on up into table. Separate the knees so they're hip distance apart. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to table, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Remember, create space between the shoulder blades. Lift the heels way up high. And then as I step that left foot forward between my hands, I'm just gonna let that back foot soften a little until I make the transition and my journey finds me in my lunge. And then I do want that heel back above the ball of the foot. Use your props here if you need them. Couple of deep breaths. Keep lifting that back thigh. Make sure that front knee is not in front of the ankle. If it is, use your props. You can always set that back knee down as well. Yeah. All right. Settle into that lunge just another moment. We're going to very carefully set the right knee down, untuck the foot. Left foot, left hand are switching places for lizard. You decide what lizard looks like for you. All right, give me a deep breath in. Big exhale. When you're ready, begin to make your way up and out of lizard. That foot over first, and then draw the leg back. And we're going to walk the hands back to sit on the heels. Inhale, both arms up. Bring the palms together. Exhale the hands to your heart. I didn't notice until we were in lizard the second time that my necklace is an intention bead. What a coincidence. Okay, give me a deep inhale. Cleansing exhale. And let's find us a supported, restorative child's pose. So whatever props you want. Knees go wide, feet together, hips are back. And then just close your eyes and settle in. As always, if your knees don't like this pose, flip on over, hug the knees into the heart, upside down child's pose. Following the breath. Your breath is your guide on this journey. Your breath leads you through your intention, through your yoga practice. Always keeping you present. And if you do find that, gosh, your intention is to stay focused on the breath, but your mind has a different intention and it keeps taking you somewhere else, change up the breath a little bit. Use an aspect of pranayama or control so you have to stay present. So for instance, instead of follow the inhale, follow the exhale, what if you were to inhale kind of like in sections? So it'd be like inhale, stop, inhale, stop, inhale, stop, inhale, stop, inhale, exhale it all the way out. Try that. You see how you have to focus there? All right, if you have your head turned to one side in Balasana, turn it to the other. And then another deep breath in through the nose. As you gently exhale, begin to push your way up and out of child's pose. And then look around, grab the props that you want, and begin to set up your space for Shavasana. So Shavasana, of course, is corpse pose. Generally, without any props, it's just laying flat on your back. Feet are open to the width of the mat, very relaxed. Arms down, kind of alongside the body, but not touching. Palms open, eyes closed. Take a moment to make sure the entire body feels supported and relaxed. I want you to allow some movement to come back into the fingers. And most certainly, the body is feeling a little bit heavy, maybe even unwilling to move. That's okay. Breathe in lightness. Breathe in lightness and movement in the fingers. And then allow your hands to be still, shifting the movement down into the feet, letting the toes wiggle, the ankles perhaps to rotate or flex, deepening the breath. And then bringing stillness back into the feet. I want you to go ahead and stretch the arms wherever they want to go, whether it's out to the sides, overhead. Really reach, breathing in energy, restoration, feeling alive. Deep inhale. As you exhale, release the arms. Take another deep breath in. This time I want you to hold it. And when you're ready, big cleansing exhale through the mouth. And then taking your hands to lay across your heart, I want you to offer yourself some kind words of gratitude for taking the time to go on this journey. Deep breath in and let it go. The light in me bows to the light in you. And when I'm in that place in me and you're in that place in you, then we become one. Namaste.